10 secrets you missed in the Moana 2 trailer. The trailer for Moana 2 has been released, and it's the sequel of one of the most famous and liked animated movies ever released by Disney Studios. And unlike other Disney and Pixar movies that were a massive success, Moana was actually an original Disney movie that made massive headlines and became incredibly popular without the help of Pixar Studios. And this is because Moana immerses us in such a beautiful, summery, and sunny world in the Caribbean that shines for its funny and silly adventurous moments. The world of Moana is largely amazing because of the main characters that we see in the movie. Great characters like Moana herself, Maui, voiced by none other than Dwayne Johnson, which makes sense because the two look incredibly similar to each other. Hey, Tamatoa, and much more that make the movie so fun to watch. The first movie showed us how incredibly well made this movie was. In terms of graphics, colors, and shades, it surpassed many of the animated movies of its time, as it told us the story of a young and cheerful girl who was hungry for an adventure in her life. So she sails across the ocean on a mission to save her community. But now we have the very anticipated Moana 2, and as we see in the trailer, it looks better than ever and more promising than anything else. Moana 2 will tell us a different story to the first one. She will go on a quest through the ocean again, but this time she will go on the seas of Oceania after getting a call for help from her ancestors whom she cares for and has sworn to protect. And who knows, maybe she will become her new leader. But there are many secrets in the Moana 2 trailer that you definitely didn't pick up on, guys. Secrets that reveal way more than the trailer shows us, and you'll probably forgot about. So without further ado, let's get into the 10 secrets you missed in the Moana 2 trailer. Let's go, guys. On November of last year, Disney released one of the most original and fresh new films that they have ever released. It didn't have the incredible CGI that we're very used to nowadays, but it was a 2D film like The Lion King and The Mermaid, both of which from the Disney's Renaissance. But even with this story that it had, and the nostalgic feeling that it brought to the big screen, the movie was wildly unpopular and it was met with bad reviews all over the world, only garnering $50 million more of the original budget, which is a total failure for a movie of this scale. But in this movie, at the end of the credits, at the moment when everyone usually leaves the movies, we see an Easter egg hidden right at the end of the credits of Moana standing in a golden silhouette, basically hinting the release of their next movie, Moana 2. It's not the first time that Disney does this, as it did the same thing with previous movies, but it's a very interesting secret for Moana 2. The main thing you might have noticed from Moana and Moana 2 is the huge similarity that these characters have with another Disney movie that you've probably watched a lot, and that is of course Encanto. Encanto was an animated movie that was released by Disney on November the 24th of 2021, and it was a huge success all over the world. It's even considered one of the best movies ever released by Disney Studios, and of course, the movie was incredibly popular because it featured many elements like funny scenes, magical moments, and a great storyline that made it so special to watch. But one of the most interesting things about Encanto is that it's nearly identical to Moana in all the senses. The characters look alike, the culture is similar, the way the characters talk is similar, the music is similar, the soundtrack is similar. But why is this? Well, because the same team that made Encanto is the same team who made Moana 1 and now Moana 2, with the music both made by Hamilton creator and Lin-Manuel Miranda. For this, it's sure that Moana 2 will be a full adventure to watch. As with any animated movie, especially the ones released by Disney, the characters are usually voiced by famous people to boost the promotional potential of the movie. Since if they were just normal specialized voice actors, the movie wouldn't make any money at the box office because nobody would be drawn to watch it in the first place. And Moana 2 is no different. So Moana will be again voiced by the great Ollie Carvalho, who is actually from Hawaii. Then she went on to star in many interesting projects like Rise from NBC and the Netflix drama All Together Now. And then we have Maui, who of course is voiced by none other than Dwayne Johnson, who was perfectly tailored for this character since Dwayne Johnson comes from Samoan descent and looks very similar to the character himself. Hey is also coming back from Moana 2 as we see in the trailer, and he is voiced by Alan Tudyk, who has worked on very popular projects like 28 Days, Resident Alien, and A Knight's Tale. Such a great cast that will definitely make this movie be a memorable one to watch, so bring the popcorn, guys, no doubt about this. On second 2 of the trailer, we see Moana landing on the beach, while we see a full shot of some seashells being moved to the shore in such a beautiful shot. Then a crab gets out of his shell, and Moana sets her paddle in the sand and gives the crab a bigger and more beautiful shell to hide in. Well, this is a reference to the hermit crab, which is by far the largest and most common sea animal in Hawaii. These crabs have been described as a symbol and identity of Hawaii, mainly for its beautiful shells, which they sometimes leave and abandon all over the coastlines of Hawaii, leaving the people of Hawaii to pick them up and sell them as souvenirs for tourists or people coming to the island. And actually, before Hawaii was discovered, the inhabitants of the island used to trade these hermit crab shells as money or coins, and they would even assign a fixed value to them. Because of this, these shells have a very important meaning in Hawaii and the Hawaiian culture. As such, they had to reference it in Moana 2. On second 36 of the Moana 2 trailer, we see the inhabitants of the island and the people that Moana belongs to saying goodbye to her as she begins her journey venturing into the ocean. But who are these people? Well, although Moana is based on a fictional island and story, and the island of Motunui about 3,000 years ago, these people are a reference to the Polynesian culture that inhabited the islands of Hawaii, Tonga, Samoa, and Tahiti. These people belong to the Austronesian people, who are the same as the people who inhabited New Zealand. The Polynesian people are thought to have descended from a small population that lived in Taiwan around 3,000 years ago, and using revolutionary seafaring techniques, they were able to sail across Oceania and settle in the islands of New Zealand, Hawaii, Tonga, and much more. Once in these islands, the Austronesian people developed their own culture, religion, and customs, deeply rooted in the nature and the beauty that surrounded them, like the ocean, the trees, the sun, and at night, very interestingly, the stars which they used to navigate across the ocean. The people of Moana have such an interesting culture, and as we see in the trailer, we will know more about this in the Moana 2 movie. It will be very interesting to watch. On second 52 of the trailer, we see Moana calling for a signal from her ancestors as she beats the drums inside a cage. She then hears a sound, but it's just Hei hitting the wood with his beak, and then she throws him out of the cave to continue her ritual. Now, immediately after this scene, we see how Moana again takes her paddle out of the sand, and if we zoom out into the wooden paddle, we can see that it has some engraving on it. What do these symbols mean? Well, the heart symbolizes the love that Moana has for the water and the seas. A love that drives her to always embark into missions and discovering new things in the ocean. And the other symbol we see is a hook, meaning that she also has a side of her which is looking for stability, symbolized by the hook, hooking her destiny in a stable place or destination. Maybe in this movie we will see Moana finding her other half in Moana 2 as she looks for a more serene and calm future. And well, my guys, that's all the dose of DJ the verse for today. I really hope you guys liked this video and liked all the secrets you missed in the Moana 2 trailer. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace!